It's traditionally used to make a joyful noise, but it's alleged that a tambourine was used as a weapon when 3 pastors allegedly got into a fight in an Angliston church. The criminal trial began today amidst an ongoing leadership dispute at the Ebenezer Baptist Church. Fern Carey has more.
Ebenezer Baptist Church pastor Reverend Michael Simonet, Simonet's first cousin Reverend Lorenzo Moss, and Reverend Zendel Stubbs were back in court this Tuesday for the start of their trial. During the proceedings, police witness Sergeant Elkemia Campbell testified that when she and a team of officers arrived at the church, she met a rowdy crowd outside and heard people shouting theft. At the same time, she said some 30 people were inside the church singing, including Reverend Lorenzo Moss and Reverend Zendel Stubbs, who were on the altar with other church leaders. She said she was standing at the rear of the church when church member Elkin Coley and other church members started turning the lights on and off, prompting one of the church leaders on the altar to come down and turn them back on. Shortly afterwards, Campbell said Pastor Michael Simonet, who was in the congregation, went in front of the church and removed the Lord's Supper table from in front of the church, and also attempted to remove the stand on the pulpit. But as he was doing that, the witness said she observed what appeared to be a fight between Reverend Simonet and Reverend Stubbs. Campbell also testified that she saw Pastor Simonet's sister hit Reverend Lorenzo Moss's mother, Mrs. Moss, with a shoe. As a result, she said Mrs. Moss retaliated, hitting her attacker with a tambourine. As a result, the witness said an altercation broke out between Pastor Moss, Pastor Simonet's sister, and Pastor Simonet. The trial has been adjourned to January 23rd. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Environmentalists have taken their fight to disallow an extension of the annual grouper fishing season to the next level. This time, the group took their fight to the cabinet, hoping that the government would take its side on the matter instead of considering the position of the Bahamas Commercial Fishers Alliance to extend the season. Last week, President Adrian Larota called for the government to consider shortening the closed season to allow fishermen to recoup, rather lengthening it to allow fishermen to recoup losses suffered as a result of Hurricane Sandy. The annual closed season for grouper is December 1st through February 28th. Fishermen want an extension to January 1st.
Increased numbers of groupers on the reefs in the last couple of years. That's a direct indication of the success of the closed season. We need to maintain a closed season long term. It's not going to happen within 5 years. The species, as she has said, takes 7 years to mature.
Reef has been working for many years to protect the Nassau grouper fishery in the Bahamas. In 2002, we submitted a report documenting the status of Nassau grouper and with management recommendations for a permanent closed season.
Right now, when we have an open season on stocks, we say it's open season, catch all you can catch. This is not proper management. In the rest of the world, when they have an open season, they say there's a certain biomass down there and you can catch a certain percentage of it, and once that percentage is caught, then the season is closed because you know you have taken all that can be sustained.
The BCFA president has maintained that a 30-day extension would not negatively impact grouper stocks. The environmentalists say, though, that there is proof that it would. During a brief conversation outside cabinet this morning, Prime Minister Christie indicated that he would support the group.
What Mr. Larota is suggesting is absolutely not true. You harvest pregnant groupers, you will take out of the ecological equation millions of potential breeders of the future. So a 30-day extension will indeed have a measurable, negative, and undesirable impact on the species, and will encourage the government that this is not a decision that they should make today. You know, if this comes up for vote in cabinet today, you know, gambling and voting is a big topic now. This is not one to gamble on, and I hope if it comes up for a vote in cabinet today, ministers will stand up and vote no.
Now, Mr. Carey believes that a short-term economic gain at the expense of spawning groupers would not be worth the long-term impact that would come as a result. Several international and local petitions against the extension have been circulating over the past few days. So far, thousands of people have signed on in support of the environmentalists. A very diverse event is coming up with music, food, and spoken word. Hence the name of the event is Diverse. The event, set for December 1st at the National Arts Gallery, is the brainchild of author Donovan Roll, who is launching his book of poetry by the same name.
The excellent thing with this event is that we're going to have multiple artists. We're going to have everything to entice your senses, all your senses, sense of taste, touch, feel. We're going to have spoken word artists, dance, jazz band. It's the atmosphere at the National Art Gallery is just going to make it an excellent event. Actually, the premises idea is that on the tail end, I'm actually launching my book of poetry, which is the name of Diverse. Hence why I want to diverse people in the artistic, bohemian artistic world. I'm going to be performing Ankusara, Arthur Seymour, Dr. Nikisha Hall Dennis. We have the saxophone playing by the great Dion Turnquist from the Junior All Stars, and a special guest performer. I can't let that one out yet.